Did we just become best friends? Yep!
Hello, welcome to the Friend Request. It's me, your host, Chloe Maddren. If you're watching today's episode, you would have already noticed that I am not in the fort. I am not in the studio. And if you're listening, you may also have noticed how short the episode is. Bad news, guys. I've lost my mind again. No, I'm kidding. I don't have an episode for you today. I'm so sorry. It is such a bummer. Basically, to put it like simply, I've been unwell. Physically, yes. Mentally, also yes. You know, I am going to tell you all about it just for a little quick second, but I apologize so much for missing a week. I'm so sorry. You guys know how much it eats me up. But I figured I'd just come on here and do a little something just to say hi, let you know that I'm thinking about you. I haven't forgotten you. And I know some of you enjoy the solo episodes anyways. Not that this is a full episode. I don't have the time. Okay. Let me tell you what happened. I may have had a bit of a meltdown. Okay. All right, you guys. So I popped down to Melbourne to hang out at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival over the weekend, right? And I was umming and ahhing about going. I was going to go later in the festival, and then all of a sudden at the last minute, I couldn't go later in the festival, and the only opportunity was this coming weekend with 3 days notice. And guys, I don't know if you've gotten this vibe from listening to the podcast this long, but I do not handle spontaneity well. I mean, except for, you know, on the riffs, obviously. I'm just being silly, but I don't like to be spontaneous. It's not my MO. It's not the kind of person I am. I like planning. I like being prepared. And more importantly than that, I like traveling when I'm not already like drained. So Melbourne was coming up and I was already kind of not feeling amazing, very run down, had just kind of been going go, 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 go for the last little bit. And, oh, Louie's trying to fight me. Sorry, baby. I know he hates to hear this story because he didn't like when I was away. So I'm not very into being spontaneous. But I made it happen. I made the plans happen. I did the pros and cons. I called my sister. I asked my boyfriend, you know, all of that. I was like, it's just expensive. And there wasn't a huge purpose for me to go. I know that a lot of you are international listeners and you're not familiar with the festival, but it is the biggest comedy event in Australia, and it is the biggest, second biggest comedy festival in the world, I think. But I don't think, you know, that says a lot. It really just means that a lot of people spend money to put on shows. Anyway, I wanted to pop down because the vibe's fun, you know. It's fun to meet people, chat, hang out with friends that are already there, do some shows. I figured I'll do some podcasts. We'll have a good time. I did fly down at 6:30 a.m. after 4 hours sleep. Because every time I have an early flight, I get too excited going to sleep that I don't sleep. So I was already like not fully there, you know, and I had that early flight so that I could make it to record a podcast that was inevitably cancelled, not my own. But I then wasn't, you know, it was kind of the crux of the journey, I suppose. It wasn't really, it was just like an excuse to go down and do it. So anyways, that was cancelled. I was like, oh, a little disappointed, a little bummed, whatever. Starting to tick away at the little bits of crazy in me. Not crazy, but just starting to be a little bit like regretful, scared, hating spontaneity, the usual. And then the next day, and that evening, I saw a few friends and had an okay time, but it's a weird thing, you know, the festival's weird. Being at the artist bar is strange because I don't want to be like too inside baseball with this stuff because I don't want to bore you. But it's just like, you know what it's like when people are how to be diplomatic. It's an artist bar. There's a lot of, hey, how you doing? While looking over someone's shoulder of, who else could I be talking to like that? And it wasn't even that aspect that really bothered me. It's more just that it's loud. I can't really hear anyone. I don't have any actual valuable conversation. It's just like, hey. And I don't know, it bores me. Anyway, I had a single alcoholic beverage that night, and that was crazy of me. And I regretted it because apparently my poor sleep-deprived little body taking in one single alcoholic beverage and feeling a little bit cuckoo, la bean brain, you know, it was too much. I'd also just tried a really cute new eyeliner, and I had an allergic reaction to it. So basically the next day I woke up feeling shitty with big puffy eyes. I start freaking out. I start getting upset. I cancel my podcasts from that day, the ones that should have been coming out right now, right? Well, I rescheduled them initially. I'm getting a little hivey. I cry my eyeballs out for an hour. I'm not doing good. And when I say hivey, I mean I'm getting some hives. Like I'm breaking out in hives because I'm stressing, and I'm having, basically, I have an autoimmune response. When I get a reaction to one thing or I get sick or whatever, my body attacks itself. It's really fucking cool and useful of it. So at that point, puffy eyes, hives on my skin, just yuck, cancelling things out here and whatever. And then I kind of reached out to a couple of friends that were in town, letting them know that I was feeling really, really crappy. And everyone's so busy down there with their own things because there's so much going on. But this is the part that I think is actually fascinating, or may actually interest you. This is the part that might actually be worth making an episode about and keeping it on theme, friendship and all that. So I reached out to a couple of friends, and everyone's too busy for me. But because I was kind of right here in this very fragile state of feeling like crap, I took that personally. I felt really alone, really deeply alone, and so sad. It probably didn't help that my boyfriend had just been away for a weekend the week before, so like we'd only had a couple of days together, but I really missed him. I missed home. At this point, I'd only been gone for a day. I was just exhausted. My body started attacking itself, and so my brain joined in. So at this point, I'm already feeling crap. And I decide, you know, I've got a loose evening plans. I had a gig to do. I wanted to see a friend's show. There was a really big event later that night as well, which was my friend, beautiful Eloise Eftos, you know, performing in the lip sync battle, which was like, I mean, probably could have been the best part of the entire trip. Probably is for anyone down there, honestly. She's incredible. She's a star. I was looking forward to it so much, but it wasn't until like midnight, 12:30, 1 a.m. So I'm out and about on town. I did a gig. It was fine. Well, I had him good. And then I tried to shove in some real dicey material. Not dicey like that, just like it's a little bit more vulnerable, and you know, it's tricky. Anyway, tricky to do in a 5-minute spot. I go see a friend's show. His audience was really off. He was fantastic, but his audience was really off. Maybe that wormed its way into my brain as well. I ran into a friend, and I was like really second guessing my outfit, right? I had this green sequin dress on. I just felt like it was a little too long. It wasn't super flattering. Oh yeah, I buried the lead. I got my period. So I'm not sure how many of you are too familiar with menstruation, or specifically when someone has like a hormonal disorder, what menstruation can be like. But it's not a comfy time for me. It's not a happy time. So I've got my period. I've got puffy allergic eyes. I've got hives. And I gave myself a migraine from crying so hard in the morning. I'm out and about, do a show, see a show, run into a friend, and verbalize my thoughts about my outfit. And I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll go shopping after this, if the shops are still open, or maybe I'll pop home, which is a 45-minute bus ride away, like where I was staying, because bless him, my beautiful friends let me stay there for free. Maybe I'll pop home, maybe I'll change my outfit. And he jokingly is like, steps out, looks me up and down, looks at the outfit and goes, yeah, maybe you should. And I'm like, I'm too sensitive for this joke right now. So I wander around. I very loosely kind of chat and walk with a couple of comedian friends who are between shows, but I have no actual plans. And I start getting in my head. I call a couple of these people I reached out to earlier in the day, thinking, God, I'd just love a friend to tell me that my outfit's okay. Oh, fuck, I'd love to just have a friend to go to dinner with. And when they were not available, and also not even telling me they were not available, when they were just like, not there, I just started walking around the city crying, honestly. I did. And then I decided at that point, well, I don't want to buy an outfit. I have the time before the lip sync to actually go home. Well, it's a ridiculous mission, and if anyone knew, then obviously they would think I was fucking insane. But whatever, that's something to talk about. I'm going home. I'm changing. I may or may not come back. Now, at this point, I actually messaged Eloise and said, I'm so sorry. And I only messaged her because I was planning on filming her routine for her, right? So I only messaged her to let her know that I couldn't do that. So she needs to find someone else too. Or that I wasn't sure. I said, I'm not sure, but I may not be coming. I'm just not feeling great. I'm so sorry. I want to be there. We'll see. And she is so fucking sweet. She was like, immediately was like, babe, I'm just getting ready at the moment, but I can call you. And I'm like, that's really, really, really sweet. Really, really sweet and lovely. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Focus on that. I'll try and get there. Anyway, I get back to the place I was staying at, right? And I am still crying. I'm just like non-stop crying. Cried on the bus home. Tried to be subtle about it. I was just so sensitive and so upset. And I spoke to my sister, and she's so, oh my God, she's amazing. She called me. We had an hour and a half chat. She was just, I was like, I want to go home. And she was like, go if you want. It's fine. Do whatever. I decided to stay in that night. It was so cold out there, and I actually didn't prepare properly with a good jacket or anything. So I was just like, I want to go out, but because it's cold and I hate myself. And everyone else, acting. Anyway, my sister kind of was just like, sleep on it, see how you feel, but you have permission to go home if you want to. And I'm like, it's going to cost $300. And guys, I know Google might think I'm a millionaire, but I promise you I'm not. Promise you, we're doing okay, but like $300 is not nothing. So I was umming and ahhing, and I was tossing and turning. I didn't go out. I didn't see the beautiful show that I was dying to see. I woke up the next day. I called Jacob, my boyfriend, and I asked him the same thing. I said, babe, what are we thinking? And at this point, my eyes were puffing up. They were worse. And I really hope that you can't tell. And I am so brave for sharing this, guys. But I got a cold sore. A cold sore? Coleslaw. I got a cold sore. I know. You never thought it could happen to me. I hate it. It's awful. It's not disgusting if it's anyone else, but if it's me, it's disgusting, and it's disgusting and awful, and I'm sorry. It's like most of the population. I get them. It's fine. But anyway, I got one. So I've got these big puffy eyes. I'm still emotionally distraught. I have a cold sore coming on. My period's giving me hell. I spoke to Jacob, and I was just like, I can afford it. Keep things tight for the next month, but I can afford it. What do we reckon? And he's like, if you want. And I booked a trip home. I booked a flight home. I spent $300. I cried the entire way. Cried on my way to the airport. Cried at the airport. Cried on the plane. Sky bus, I cried because I felt at that point, even though I could recognize the physicality of what was going on with my body, I still felt like it's so embarrassing. I felt like it was my friend's fault. Friends plural, by the way, not anyone in particular. Overall, largely, I was so upset and sad and angry. I was angry, and I felt like abandoned and all of this. And it's so stupid because I was even like, I verbalized it to one of my other friends. I was being such a sad sop. Oh my God, he's messaging when I am on the plane, and he wasn't in Sydney. Otherwise, that would have been helpful. He's a great friend, but he's like, fly safe. And I was like, no, who cares? Sent him a emoji of a plane and a fire. Insane. Maybe I'll put the screenshot in here. But also sending that message on a plane just like kept my phone real close to my chest. It was crazy though. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't anyone's fault. I mean, hell, it wasn't even my own fault for feeling like crap. I kind of knew from the get-go I shouldn't be going on this trip. My period's coming. I know what that does to me. I'm not feeling great. I know what that does to me, you know? And I did it. And now I had spent all of this money. I flaked on a couple of things, which eats me up inside. Like, I feel terrible about, including obviously the rescheduled podcast episode that would have been this one here. I felt so bad, and it was so silly. It was all so silly because I was genuinely mad at people. But upon reflection, like preparing to do this episode, upon reflection, I realized I can pinpoint the moment where it all went wrong, and it is choosing a bad outfit to go out in and being so upset that I needed a friend to tell me it was fine, or let me wear something of theirs, or like tell me to go home and change. Like, what? I needed a friend right then, and I didn't have one, and it broke my heart. But upon reflection, that's really what it was, which is what highlights the importance of actually taking the 2 hours to get ready and choosing that outfit that feels really good. It's important, okay? Because I know myself now. I'm a 30-year-old woman. I know myself now well enough that it will get to me, and I will spend all my money to move cities. Frankly. Anyway, that's also like why I'm dressed so cutely even for this very, very chill episode today. Sorry if you're an audio listener, but yes, I'm wearing a corset. Yes, I've got a very cute new black lace robe on. My hair's all did. It's because I feel like the grossest girl in the world. My eyes have settled down, thank God, but I've got this cold sore and I got my period and I just feel yuck. So I apologize to anyone who's upset about me looking extra cute today, because I know that some people get mad about that. Some people get mad when I look hot, and others take it as an invitation to sexually harass me. So, you know, don't do that, please. Anyway, all of this is to say there's no episode this week. I suppose I should probably resolve it a little bit better regarding my friends and my friendship. I have had these realizations, and I knew I would in the time. Even when I was in the heat of the moment, I said to my friend who I was messaging, the cycle is going to be anger, sadness, and embarrassment. And that's exactly what it was. One of the friends, I was kind of like, I wish he had been nicer. He did message me a day or two later saying, are you okay? Like, I wanted to check in. The other friend, I messaged and I said, I was a little bit stroppy with you and I'm sorry. It's so funny to me how much we can project and how much we can put onto all of these things, how much we personalize things that just have nothing to do with us. I don't know, always growing, learning, but I kind of thought that I was beyond that. But now I know better. No spontaneity ever. Always take 2 hours to choose an outfit. And for the love of God, don't travel on your period, Chloe. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm traveling more. Preparation. That's what I want. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you like the solo vibe, even though the setup isn't anywhere near as cute. I could make it cuter in the future. If you do enjoy this kind of thing, I could possibly consider adding it into the rotation. Also, let me know if you've also had these kinds of thoughts and feelings, if you've ever felt like your friends have been a bit blah, and we can talk about it. And maybe you'll come to the similar realization that there's a lot of projecting going on and personalizing, and everyone's just really busy and no one actually means that much by it. And for the most part, if someone tells you they love you, you can believe them. And you should, especially when it comes to your friends. Thank you for listening. See you next week. I love you. Bye. Also, just realized how funny it is. Like, is it going to sound insane having this weird solo rant followed by, do we just become best friends? Like, no. Maybe I became best friends with myself. Love you. Bye.
Did we just become best friends?